Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this beautiful webinar. This is national webinar on cybersecurity sensitization. So I would like to welcome everybody on board the galaxy of beautiful speakers, eminent speakers from different fields of cybersecurity, sensitization, education field, and from the psychological aspect. So this is a very important session. I would like to introduce myself, Rajarshi Choudhury, Advocate, Calcutta High Court, founder and director of Cyberguru, and I will be like to present before you a keynote speech before we start the webinar, and this is I would like to start. So thank you everybody for joining this live session. So basically, what is happening that presently we are living in a era of electronics, telecommunication, and digital environment. So in this present situation, in the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, the most important thing that happened that our lives have been very much confined within computers, internets, and telecommunication devices, electronic communication devices rather, starting from teenagers to the work person who are working from home. And in this position, what is happening around us is with the advent of the situation, the crimes, that is the cyber crimes, that is the crimes relating to computer and internet, is going very much faster, and it is growing in no way. And the most important thing is I would like to just present you some statistics that around 700 million internet users are there here in India, and there is a projection in 2025 that it can increase up to 974 million. So this is really an alarming situation. And in this situation, the digital India has experienced and uh, mm, uh, with an increase of 63.5% of the cyber crimes, which is a present statistics. So this is really a needful. We felt it needful to organize such an webinar in a national forum, and this webinar is organized by Cyberguru with association with qtvlive and with a very humble association being a media partner, eslive. So I would like to thank everybody of this organization, every single person of this organization who has worked their day in and day out to make this webinar a success. So with this note of thanks, I would like to introduce myself, and I've already done it. For a very short discussion, I would like to state that what is about Cyberguru. Cyberguru is an organization which is an online organization which is working for cyber safety, education, and consultancy for the common people. For various aspects of life, everybody can come to this organization and they can learn about what is happening around us, what is going on for their day-to-day lives, how they can be secured, how they are vulnerable. We always teach them the vulnerability points, and by that way, we teach them how to become safe in their day-to-day lives. And there are other technical issues which have been covered. So this is really, we always organize workshops, seminars, and these types of seminars. So I always like to introduce Cyberguru as a very important organization which you can enroll. The institutes, the educational institutes, the corporate houses, they can also come to us for their cybersecurity, general cybersecurity trainings for their staffs, their students. So by this way, I would like to proceed further with the galaxy of speakers who are there presently. So on the very onset, I would like to introduce Srimati Payel Ghosh, who is an very eminent parenting consultant, and the founder of Medha Consultancy. So any moment we can expect her.
Good evening, everybody, and a very good evening to all of you, and of course, Happy New Year to all of you. Yes, this is 2021, and we are starting this new year, yes, with a hope and obviously with a kind of positive aspiration and positive attitude. Anyway, so I'm Payel Ghosh, I'm parenting consultant and work for parents and children where we can work together, solve their behavioral problems, and make their future better. Now, I just first of all want to thanks to Rajarshi Choudhury, the owner of this Nextscreen organization, of course qtvlive and eslive, just giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak here in this platform, because today's topic is very important in today's date, because in cybersecurity, yes, we are using internet like anything. So here comes the security, here comes the cyber security part, and that is why it's really very important for all of us to know and to know the detail. As I work, I already told, I work with parents and children. I will not waste much of your time, because you are definitely going to know lots of tools, techniques, how to handle, monitor, and go with this tech process. I am here for parents to actually give them an awareness and regarding their child's addiction on internet and all, because this pandemic has thrown us to such a situation where internet access has become mandatory to, I mean, for all of us. Especially, I like to take the projection on children from toddler to teenager. So first and foremost, in the education purpose, their entertainment need, everything is now very much concentrated on what? On nothing but this internet access. Now, I'll just make my entire session in five small points, five parenting tips, you can say. This five consolidated parenting tips may help you to get the parenting done more easier. So let's start with the first point. I'll first focus on the age group where toddlers, means from 2 years onwards to 10 years, means junior, 2 to 10 years, parents of toddler to junior children, be very careful about this internet access. Please put restriction and limit on their internet accessibility. Never ever give your personal phone to them to go with this kind of entertainment, YouTube videos, or different kind of other gaming and all. Not your phone. Why? Because you are an adult person. Lots of contents can come to your phone. All of them cannot be age appropriate. I'm using a small case study. I was taking a session with a 6 years old girl. I mean, she was watching some kind of video on Barbie and all. Somehow he got some sex videos which came in the YouTube video suddenly, and she went through it, and finally she became very confused and very much anxious. What is happening here? So sex videos can also be explored to a child who is only 6 years old. So be very careful whenever we give our smartphone as a playing device. Please don't do it. It's very, very, very much needed to restrict ourselves regarding this. Use a separate device for them. Put exact proper security, where the experts will definitely say about all those stuffs there very much, and definitely give them access for a limited time. Screen time limit is mandatory, and I, as a parenting consultant, I suggest from 2 to 10, this age group shouldn't access more than 30 minutes of smartphone using or internet using for entertainment purpose. I'm not talking about the online classes. Online classes I'm coming later in my other points. So our first point is parents from 2 to 10 age group of children, please provide a separate device for entertainment purpose of internet usage. Don't give your personal mobile phone for to them for watching videos and playing games and all these things. Please keep this point in mind. My second point comes with a very important thing, that is digital detoxification. Yes, we are all hooked to internet today's date, but definitely we need a detoxification because we all are somehow addicted to it. So please keep a separate time in everyday's life where we are going to get ourselves digitally detoxified. What is meant by digital detoxification? Just to keep our digital life away from us. Keep a non-digital corner at home. And apart from digital entertainment, there are various entertainments in our art where they're I mean very much scattered here and there we cannot find due to our masking on our eyes. So that is why this is very important. Like they can go with different kind of hobbies, some creative things, sculpturing, painting, book reading, outdoor games, outdoor activities, social service. So many things are there, and the endless list is there. So just motivate your child to go through it, and also motivate yourself not to be digitalized for for a particular time of a day. So it's very careful. So the second point comes here, digital detoxification. Please start doing from today itself, from New Year. Take a resolution. From this new year, we will start digital detoxification at home. Our home routine should maintain this. Coming to my third point. The third point is I'm coming to the online classes. Yes, online classes, most of the children are experiencing online classes today's date. So most of the cases I have found that they're using their mother or father's phone, and they're using it. So but lots of disturbances are coming. They're not doing or concentrating on the classes properly because the phone has some other addiction, taking the keeping the video off. They're doing what? They're actually playing games, watching some other stuffs apart from studies. So what to do? Just give them a separate device where the screen area is big. I'm telling again, for online classes, please provide your child a separate device who has big screen area. It may be a tab, desktop, or laptop. It has two advantages. You can put good amount of security in it. Secondly, if the screen is big, it becomes eye soothing, and also you can monitor what the child is doing actually, and the teachers are teaching and they're following it or not, and all this other disturbances may be reduced for this particular system. So for online classes, please take or please use this kind of device absolutely for study purpose. So this is my third point. I'm coming to my fourth point. It's a very important area, teenagers, because you have to give teen internet exposure, digital independence. What to do then? Because teenagers are very much aggressive. They do arguments, they have very good logic, and they all the time will actually keep you down through logical analysis and all, and why we should do internet and everything. So let's start a family meeting here. So basically, for this teenager, family meeting has a very good importance. What's this family meeting? With the parents and children, they will sit together. They will come to an agreement. They will have some agenda and come to an agreement how to manage this digital life and the non-digital life. So you can keep in this agenda, firstly, the screen time restriction. Give your child the option how much screen you want to actually go through for entertainment purpose, and you come to an agreement 1 hour or 2 hours max. So this kind of agreement or mutual respectful conversation will allow your child to think about this kind of responsibility. Secondly, you may analyze regarding this dark web concept. cyberbullying concept. So those kind of things where children are, I mean, getting very much, attracted with all this kind of small apps and all, where all the informations are going. Those experts will definitely say all these things about this. But what about this dark web? And they're taking all your information and doing lots of harm to our, your personal life, as well as your financial thing can be affected on this. So this kind of area need to be known. Cyberbullying is another very big problem. So if you are actually making friend whom you don't know at all, and want some pics of yours with a very, a special pics of yours, and you are absolutely giving in with an emotional drive, next day it may become a viral, and you may become in a big, negative situation. So these kind of things, even of pornographic things, you can discuss freely with your child in family meetings, so that they get a full awareness about this area, that what how should I use internet. And through parents, if the message is coming through a meeting, through an agreement part, they will definitely follow it. Lecturing is actually not accepted by them, but mutual, conversation with a respectful mode is important for your child. I'm coming to the fifth one, which is the last point of my today's speech, is nothing but our positive parenting attitude. Firstly, we need to get focus ourselves what we need. We need to decrease their digital addiction, and we want to make them in a positive way. Internet can be superb if we use it, fruitfully. So motivate your child regarding good, sites, blog writings, information searching, analysis. Even you can give them a YouTube channel where he can say lots of things weekly regarding a science topic or social science topic. So these kind of things actually give child, an importance in society. Once she will feel I'm contributing something to the society, she will start, or he will start using internet in a positive way, not in a negative way. But what we need to do, you'll have to have some positive approach. You'll have to give your chance child to learn from mistakes. You'll have to be calm and quiet. You'll not to be very aggressive. Physical punishment shouldn't be there. Only the discussion, only the friendly monitoring is needed. Means the positive parenting should be there. They don't want nagging and lecturing. Be very careful about it. Rather, they want discussion and good listener in our life. So just being a positive parent, be a good listener, try to understand their viewpoint, and then establish an agreement with them. I hope this way we can definitely use internet in a positive way, and the cybersecurity laws and other things can be easily, conveyed through this kind of attitude. Thank you so much, and I hope all other experts are coming with their valuable suggestions and discussions. So I'm also hoping that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are actually mesmerized with the words that you gave us. Being a parent, I can actually relate myself to what you said right now. Thank you so much for such a valuable discussion that we had. Moving on
Thank
for
you.
our session today. Thank you so much, ma'am. Moving on with our special discussion today, we have our special guest of honor, who is none other than Mr. Kalyan Mukhopadhyay. He's the IPS, DIG, CID special. He's a former SP Malda, former SS in IB West Bengal. He had worked under UN in Kosovo. He is awarded with two prestigious medals for exclamatory services by our two successive CMs of West Bengal. Hello, sir. Privileged to
Good
have
evening.
you with us tonight. Good evening. So, over
Yeah.
to you, sir. Since we have you with us right now, I would like to ask you one important question that comes to my mind right away. That is cyber security or cyber crime itself. It's actually under not under proper conceptual fact with a layperson. When it comes to a layperson mind, what should we do? How do we approach? Whom to go for? There are lots of questions which come involvement in our mind, and we do not know where to go on the prospect to it. So my first question would be how to go about it if it comes to my personal life or if it comes to a layperson's perspective. Second would be if police, then which unit of police? Because we are not very sure on this department of police should it be. Will it be my local station, police station? Will it be the bank? Will it be the judicial help? Which way should we go? If you guide us on this, sir. Over to you. Thank you for being a part here.
Good evening to all of you. I was simply mesmerized by the way and whatever has been spoken by Payel. It was just excellent. Anyway, going straight to your question, see, cybercrime is very unique. It's different from all sorts of traditional crimes in two, three ways. The number one, the most important thing is all traditional crimes, they have a specific PO. Say, if a dacoity is there, then the dacoity must be in somebody's house or a factory or some place. So that's a fixed place, which in police jargon we know as PO, place of occurrence. But cybercrime has no such PO. Say I have gone to Kerala and I have an ATM in a bank in Barashat, and from Delhi somebody is spoofing that and taking money out of this. Then which is the PO? Is it the place where from the criminal is staying, or where the victim is staying, or where from the ATM card has been issued? So that is one problem with the and different from the traditional crimes. Another thing is, in the traditional crime, the criminal is also fixed. If somebody is murdered, then he has been murdered by somebody or maybe one or more persons. So those persons, whether they are identified or not, that's a separate question. But they're fixed, absolutely. They're pinpointed person who has done this. But in cybercrime, again, this may not be true. Maybe one person is doing a part of it, another person is doing, somebody else is doing knowingly or unknowingly. It's a very big thing. The entire thing is basically a mixture of real and virtual world. Real in the sense your money or your reputation, and virtual is the process they are doing it. So to be very specific, if there is a victim, say Debonila, you said personally, or maybe me or somebody else, if there is a victim, suddenly I am a victim of a cybercrime. So in West Bengal specifically, and in most of the states in India, all police stations are ready to take your complaint. So you can approach to the local police station immediately. You can also go to, in West Bengal, to all the district headquarters. Right now, each district headquarter has one cyber unit which is well equipped. So you can approach there also. If you are staying in Kolkata area, Lal Bazar has a very well equipped, well manned cyber cell. So there also you can approach. And then obviously CID is there where I am working in Bhavani Bhavan, Alipur. There also you can approach. Besides this, throughout the country, there is one way, www.cybercrime.gov.in. This is not much known to ordinary people, but this is very efficient and effective in the sense that you lodge a complaint there. You just open the website, you will find lodge a complaint. Tab is there. You click it, lodge a complaint, they will send your complaint to the appropriate cyber unit immediately, and the case will be investigated soon. So these are the basic three processes: the local PS, the district unit, Lal Bazar Cyber Cell or CID, and obviously throughout the nation that www.cybercrime.gov.in. So these are the things. Now going to the other part. Actually, what happens? What happens in the cybercrime? In my experience of 25 years of policing, I can say that most of the cybercrimes is basically happening where your identity is stolen. It's identity theft, basically. And for that, what what may be your loss? So your loss may be monetary, your loss may be your reputation, your loss may be your privacy, and lastly, your loss even may be your life. Say, probably you still remember the blue whale game or the online game Momo, etc., where people even lost their lives. So these are the things which will be lost by you. So basically, your identity will be stolen, and then you will incur these losses. Now, what to do about this? Today, I'm not going to very technical words, but the things which we must know. The first thing we must know that what is basically a password. We hear lots of things: make the password strong, this, that, etc., etc. But what is a password? It's something like, as soon as you are on net, so basically you are putting your valuable informations in a locker and you lock it by your password. So if the lock is weak, then the locker may be opened by anybody. Because when you put something in the internet, it can be opened by anybody in this world. So basically, your lock is your password. So you have to make a 7 lever or 70 lever lock, something like that. So your key should be very, very strong. So one or two simple ways to make your password strong is make it with alphanumeric, numeric, and some symbols, characters. Make it at least more than 8 such symbols and letters or numerals, and change it regularly. Most of my friends tell that, Kalyan, you suggest that do not use your birth date, do not use your family's birth dates, do not use your marriage date, or even such dates which we can remember. Then how can you remember passwords? And you have so many passwords nowadays. So many passwords you have to remember. You have to remember the email password, then the Facebook password, then what not. There are so many things for which you have to remember the passwords. So what I do actually, I frame a sentence which is known to me and important to me. um, Say, my wife's name is, or say the name of my wife is Gargi. Now the name of my wife is Gargi. So there are 7 words. So I take the first letters of each word. So the, T of the, name, N, like this. These are the letters. And then I put just a digit, say 2, and a symbol, maybe hashtag or something, and I make this as my password. So even if I forget the password, I will never forget the sentence. And you can make it stronger like this. You take the first letter of the first word, then the second letter of the second word, maybe the third letter of the third word, maybe fourth letter of the fourth word, like this. So there are easier way to make strong passwords also, which can be remembered very easily. So that way you can make passwords for email differently. You can make password for your Amazon, or maybe whatever the movie Hoichoi, etc., etc., Netflix, all sorts of things. You can make at least 10 passwords, and also you can keep it in your brain in the form of sentences. You make a sentence which is important in your life, and then take letters from there, numerals from there, and some set symbols. Another way of making strong password is you just open the keyboard of your iPad or laptop or etc. Then take a sequence. So my name is K. So from in the keyboard, from the K sequence, I take the letters and symbols. So it's basically on the left line and then a V. So these are the different ways of making your passwords very strong. Many a times we are very, very reluctant to be cautious about our emails. Okay, I make a strong password, but that is not good enough, because one way of going into your device is basically email. It is so very easy. I can send you an attachment. I will just wait you for you to open the attachment. The moment you open the attachment, the Pandora's box is open. So now you have to know, even before opening the attachment, you have to know which attachment should not be opened. It's almost like even before opening the door, you have to know the person waiting outside the door whether he is a murderer or not. So it's little difficult, because if you do not know what is there in the attachment, how do you know that it's a bad attachment? So normally what it is suggested is do not go for any attachment from any unknown source, maybe personal, maybe company, maybe professional, or whatever it is. There are lots of attachments nowadays come where these things are always there, that you do not know the source, so do not open the attachment until and unless you are sure about the source who is sending it. This is very important. And also, you please remember that lots of junk mails are there. Avoid junk mails. Only go for necessary emails, which are very necessary. Don't go for promotional emails also. Many promotional emails also contain things which actually steal your identity. I'm telling you, it is not only not for probably cybercrime. It may be for making a database. Suppose one company, he is going sending you emails. You open the email, he just gets your name and address, so he can make a database of millions of people like that. So please be careful about opening the attachments in the emails and also saving the attachments in your device, the computer, laptop, or wherever it is. Before saving, you must get it scanned properly. Then only you should save it. This is about your email. Now I am going there where Payel actually has ended. Use of Facebook, mostly Facebook, I'll tell you, by the young people, the teenagers, even the children, and obviously us also. We must be very careful about giving information to social sites. I'm telling you, if you go to my social sites, you will find at least 4 different birth dates, which are all false. Maybe Facebook is one, in Instagram is something different or something else. Only one birth date which is very official and on which Honorable CM sent some gifts to me. That is the original official birth date of myself. Otherwise, there are lots of information about me, but most of them actually will lead you to something which is not correct, which is not true. So be careful about sharing your personal informations, even names of your relatives, wives, children, etc., etc. And your children, at least the teenager people, should be told this very specifically because they tend to be on the side of truth. Because the grown-ups, we people only easily go towards the false things, because we can convince ourselves that we are practical and we are experienced in this world, so we have the right to tell the true false things, tell the lies. But teenagers, they mostly stick to the truth, so they will give all informations which are basically true. So they should be taught that Facebook or some social sites are not the place where you should expose everything of yourself which can be misused, which can be stolen, and which can be misused by these things. Also, whenever you give some password in the social site, please use virtual keyboard, not the actual keyboard. Your smartphones or your mobiles, that also must be secured. The first thing is very important is most of us cannot produce the IMEI number of my mobile set if it is stolen right now. What I tell most of the time, I listen from people, sir, phonta base chilo. I'm sorry that I'm speaking Bengali. Phonta base chilo, phonta হারিয়ে গেছে স্যার, একটু কিছু করবেন। তো what is the IMEI number? স্যার বাড়ি গিয়ে দেখছি স্যার, প্রেসক্রিপশন এই সরি এইটাতে আছে, আপনার ক্যাশ মেমোটাতে আছে। No, please keep your IMEI number somewhere secured, so that whenever something happens, you can immediately tell police that this is the IMEI number of my set, which is very important. This is the thing. Please do not think that whatever you get free is good. Do not use free Wi-Fi's. I have seen so many boys and girls sitting on Park Street on 1st January night, 31st night, and using the free Wi-Fi there. Please do not use. Even in hotels, restaurants, also you should be very careful to use the free Wi-Fi's. It's much better if you use your own network. So please do abstain yourself from this. And the WhatsApp content. See, I have 100 friends, suppose. 1st January morning, I have seen that 200 Happy New Year wishes came to me. 100 to known, and other 100 are absolutely unknown. Only their numbers are there. And there are lots of attachments also. Some videos, some things, and some images, etc. etc. Be careful to open them. My advice is don't open them. If a person is not known to you, what's the point getting a happy new year wish from him? Let him call you, let him be known to you, then only you open the attachment. Otherwise, simply delete it, even before opening it. No point making a friend who is unknown to you, making somebody a friend who is unknown to you. That the same thing advice is for the Facebook users also. Do not make friends. Do not make friends whom you do not know. You must know him personally through somebody else who is a common friend. And you can even discuss with the common friend who is this person. Do not just get a request and make a friendship. Also, I will tell the children should be advised not to meet a Facebook friend personally alone. Because in many cases we found that he or she is basically a fraudster. So tell them, even if they meet, they must meet along with their parents, or they must take the advice. But um, this is not only for the children. I have seen many grown-ups also have made these mistakes. Temptation is one thing which we must avoid while we are in net space. Lots of people get this message that you have been awarded 1 million US dollar. You are the person who has been selected. Please send us some 40,000 rupees. All your gifts and money are coming to Delhi. So 40,000 rupees to Delhi, then the cargo goes to Guwahati. So another 40,000 rupees to Guwahati, it goes back to from Guwahati to say Ranchi. So that way you lose almost 5 lakh rupees when you realize that actually there is nothing. So the basic question you should ask yourself, am I really supposed to get such huge amount of money? Am I worth it? If not, please don't be tempted, because temptation can cause devastation for you. ATM, use 2-3 simple things. One is, do not use your ATM card in an ATM machine where there is another person besides you, even if the security guard. Tell him politely to go out and then only use your ATM card, because shoulder surfing is very interesting thing where from the back of you somebody sees the ATM card number and he remembers the 16-digit number immediately with the CVV number also on the back. So please be careful that you are alone there, and do not share your ATM pin with anybody in this world. Change your ATM pins also regularly, maybe 3-4 months you change it also. So these are the things. Debonila, do I have any questions for me?
Am I audible? Okay. So we have a question from Pratyush Sur, who's saying, Mr. Kalyan, kindly suggest if we can prepare our future generation, that is school level, to get into a habit of cyber ethics, do's and don'ts of the virtual life. As well as this, I would like to add into one more point to this. That is, if you kindly advise us, seeing the in future generation and the increasing number of cyber crimes that are increasing nowadays, in the future generation, we find this to be increasing in a long trend. So do you find that the normal dacoits or the normal theft are being replaced by the cyber crime nowadays? So if you can just advise us on the same as well.
Coming to your second question first, yes, the nature of crime is changing very fast. The criminals are finding that instead of organizing a dacoity or a theft, it is much easier to go for a cyber crime, because for a little amount of time they can get lots of money. So cyber crime and cheating through cyber crime is getting more and more popular among the criminals, and especially if there are intelligent persons in the criminal gang, it's much easier for them to go there. Going to the
Exactly,
first
sir.
Thank you, Debonila. Going to the first part of your question, we have in CID, we have proper do's and don't manuals. If anybody is interested, Debonila, you can share my number with them. We can do two things. One is our team can go to any school or anything where there are lots of people are there, students are there, where we can explain these are the things we should do and these are the things we should not. Or we can even send through mail the do's and don'ts to the specific person, say Pratyush or whoever is asking. We have that system. They can even send me an WhatsApp or give me a call. We can do it. But one thing I'm telling you, maybe two, three things. One is, see, it is almost you are giving a very sharp knife to your children to play with without telling him or her that this knife can cut you through. So whenever people are, I have seen many parents are telling me, কল্যাণদা আমার 2 বছরের মেয়েটা না মোবাইলটা হাতে পেলে নিজেই হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ ইউটিউব খুলে গান শোনায়. What rubbish is this? 2 years daughter is not supposed to even touch that. Will you let her touch the knife from her mother? No. The parents do not realize that a mobile is much more harmful than even a knife to the children and to the teenagers. So
Basically,
before
sir, we are not understanding the do's and don'ts of the subject, and we are placing it boastfully to others, saying that this is something which is credidious for them. So, which is actually not. This is nothing to be of
we
credit,
actually,
but this is actually default. Defaulters. The parents are the defaulters.
Debonila parents are thinking that each children in Bengal is basically Mark Zuckerberg. That is becoming the problem. I am not discouraging the parents to think that his children are not talented. Let them be in their spheres only. Let them first get acquainted with the harmful effects of the mobile phones, laptops, and nets, basically internet. When they are thorough it, they are just through this all these things, that these are the things which can happen to them, then only let them use it. Mobile phone is not a cricket bat that you can
Thank
play
you so
with.
much, sir, for your valuable content. We will move on to our next guest, who is from far away from Dubai. We have a time difference as well with
Okay,
her. So we'll move on to that. And thank you so much for being here as a special guest of honor tonight. Thank you so much, sir.
good night. Okay.
Good night. Okay, so moving on with our webinar, we have our next guest. As I mentioned, she's from Dubai. She is Angira Banerjee, a former senior correspondent of G24 Ghanta, Kolkata, and G News, Delhi. She moved to Doha as an advertising agency, and then Dubai, and then she is operating as a manager in an advertising agency there. And now she runs her own advertising and media company. Hello, ma'am. Good evening. Ma'am, you're not audible.
Uh,
Yeah,
I
I
think I
guess you're
was,
audible.
yeah, hi. Good evening. Happy New Year. How are you?
Happy New Year, ma'am. Same to you, and we are fit and fine. We're just waiting for your reply to the questions and adding value to the webinar. Thank you for joining in, ma'am. My next question would be, as an entrepreneur in this field, what do you think that the cybersecurity can affect our media and the advertising business? So if you can prolong in the same, ma'am.
Sure. See, right now, when like one side, the advertising and the media business is growing very fast, and due to the globalization, even sitting in Dubai, I am like we are dealing with the clients all over the world regarding content, regarding their advertising solutions, regarding their marketing solutions, and all. And now coming to after the COVID, the situation has really changed a lot because now even the local clients in like they are talking to us, they are dealing with us like through the internet, right? Because it's not all like always that you can reach to the client and you can take the brief and all that. So from the very beginning, when you are running an advertising, our main business is all about the content, right? That is what we sell, and that is the concept, that is the marketing idea, which is the basic, the root of our business. And here comes the biggest threat for us because everything, like taking a brief. Now I meet many clients through LinkedIn. I come across many clients through different social media, right? And now when I'm taking a client brief and then I am working on a concept and I'm sending the concept through a like internet device, certain like in that way. Now, the my concern is that my concept should be very much protected. It should not be like tampered, or it should not be hacked, because the content, the concept, that is the most important thing. That is the reputation of my company. Because today I am giving a concept. Let us say that my competitor is also there. They can also hack my like system. They can keep an eye that which are the clients that we are working for. And in that case, there are two kind of things that I can lose. Number one, they can take my concept. They can use change a little bit. They can come up and know about the pricing that I'm going to offer to my client. They can go to the client and give the same solution with a lesser price, so you lose a client. Second, if your content is published somewhere, or in that your competitor has taken the concept and used for any other like competitive brand, and used the advertising concept has been used for another movie or any advertising promotional something like marketing strategy, then you lose your reputation. So that is a very important and concerning matter right now, because now the business scenario has changed globally. And every day we see that the digitalization, and especially in Dubai, in UAE, in GCC and MENA region, this business has been changing rapidly with the digitalization. Even rather than the TV industry, the digital platform is very much important here. So the first step that we do is like what we are thinking, like as a People Perfect Media, me and our partners are really, really concerned about this content thing. And what we want is like we are talking to some of the concerned like technical people, that how we can create a platform where we can make absolutely sure that the content is not going to be tampered or hacked. Like when I'm taking a client's details, I'm very much sure that the client, whatever is giving the content or the brief of the idea, uh, it is very much like secured. And when I'm developing a concept for the client after getting the brief and creating the content, it should be very like secured in the either way. And also there should be an interactive forum for both the parties, because now we really don't have time. Like even a client doesn't have a lot of time that he can just call the media house and say that I want this changes, or write a huge mail writing that, oh, I want this change, this frame, that frame, or the advertising concept and all. So there should be a two-way forum where whatever he see, he should have an exclusive right of going through a portal. And that in that portal he goes directly, and he is would be able to access only that content, particular content. And then he can give his all the like observations over there. And sitting in my office, I don't have to run here and there, or I have to call the client and ask, oh, what is happening, please give me your feedback and all. I can sit here, or my editor, or my digital media expert, he can open that, and he can see that, okay, these are the points that has to be changed. My creative, like as a creative head, I can see, okay, these are the points that have to be changed, or the marketeer, we can see that. So in that way, if we can make such a certain portals in that way, so then the content can be very much like we can protect the content, because that is one of the challenge that really as a media people we are facing. And then my second business is into digital, right? And in digital, you know that, Debolina, that we all are like always working into the all the internet devices, right? So now when you are managing a digital account for a company, you are giving their details into certain portals, right? Now there is no access that if that is hacked, then your reputation is also is going to be ruined, because the client will never trust you. You lose the trust of the client, you lose the reputation in the business, because this things doesn't stay like the client can say to the other client, right? So in that way your business can be like, I'm not talking about the monetary like fraud only, because that is a issue that is always there, and we have to be very careful. But while using a banking like payment gateways and all, that is another thing, right? But for our business, the major thing that we believe that the two things is very important. Number one is the content, which we have to protect, and that is one of the things that the cyber this kind of forums like Cyberguru and all. And if they can bring some portals for us where we can get a portal where our contents can go to a particular client with a certain access, and it would be completely protected, and there would be no one can hack it, or no one can actually access or tamper my concept or my content. Then that is something that we really need at this point of time, when we are seeing to the globalization, and we see that now every business is happening through internet, because we really cannot visit the clients, we cannot always like go and access that. And even we have to use like some stock visuals, because real time shoots were almost in many of the countries, even here till August we cannot do real time shoots. So we have to take like contents from internet, relevant contents from different forums, and we have to make the advertising for them, right? So this is the thing. And when coming to the digital thing, like I am very vigilant about quite few things in my like company. When we are doing, because see, we do editing, we do digital marketing, so we are always accessing the internet. Now, like my editor keep on downloading different plugins for his like 2D animation or 3D or any kind of editing plugins, right? So now we have to be very sure that which are the plugins and which are the like from which sites they are like downloading these things. So we really put an effort to make it very sure that this contents or this plugins or whatever the way like from the sites they're downloading these things has to be very much like these are protected. And we really keep a very we put and invest time and money to secure our websites, secure our like the forums, like our Instagram page, our Twitter page, or even our LinkedIn page. Because anything, if it goes into a wrong hand, then our reputation as a marketer, as like an advertiser, we will lose the face. And that is one of the challenge. And here comes like the security thing, and the I will say the firm like Cyberguru is important for us, who can guide us with different kind of portals and the cybersecurity things, where we will be more confident to float our like concepts in the coming days. Debolina.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your vulnerable discussion. Thank you so much for joining in, and thank you
Thank
so much to
you.
add the value of the webinar. Good evening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Now, thank you. Bye bye. Now, moving on to with our fifth guest for the night, we have Mr. Viral Parmar, who is a serial entrepreneur who runs an Expo Cybersecurity Foundation of a non-profit organization in India. He is a founder of All India Educators Forum, that is AIEF. He is a cybersecurity researcher by profession and open source enthusiast working in the field of information security for last 5 years. With the expertise in cyber crime investigation, digital forensic and web app penetration testing, he has been satirizing more than 1 million people around the world for the rights of poverty, cybersecurity, net authenticity, and cyber disorders. So over to you, sir. Have you joined in? Are we having him with
Yes,
us tonight?
yes, ma'am. Thank you for inviting.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining in. Good evening. So over to you, sir. How do you think that sensitization common people over the cybersecurity impact in national security level? If you can just throw us a little light on the same subject.
Sure, ma'am. I have created a small presentation, so I'll like to share that with you guys. Just let me share my screen. So I hope you guys can see my screen. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So, as you ask about how common people affect or sensitizing common people about cyber security affect national security. So, I can say that as an every individual person who lives in India is an concern of an government of India, and also data that is created or generated by that person is a national asset that we can say because the data that is created can be utilized in different manner, can also affect the economy of India, can also affect the finance, not just finance, all over the national security purpose as well. So if we talk about that thing, I would like to take you in kind of in summarized manner of how we are living in state of surveillance, how our country, how we are right now in a state of cyber war. So this was usually a cyber war room or normal war room would look like 10 to 15 years ago, but this is the picture of a cyber war room these days. So if we talk about the transformation of it, how this happened, so because of the cyber war, so people are like, as of now we are in middle of cyber war, so lots of magazines, lots of news channels have mentioned this thing. China and Russia is hacking almost each and every country in every week. They are hacking into the government system, they are hacking into companies data, they're gathering as much as information possible, not just by hacking it, also by doing surveillance. So how this thing happens, how countries are preparing themselves, what are they doing? So the answer is mass surveillance. If it either is it's a USA, either it's in Russia, either it's in China or any other country, so they are preparing themselves for a cyber war. So first thing they are doing is mass surveillance. They are doing surveillance on each and every one of us as an all citizen of world, and they're gathering as much as possible information from them. So how they tend to do it, how or what is the process they follow? So they gather information from the companies. So how the companies gather information? So as we can see, we are using applications or websites like Google, Microsoft, Facebook, and other services we are using. So we are, while using these services, we are sharing a lot of information with them, with the companies actually. Like if you can see the Google, so if you are using Google Maps, Google accounts, or anything, whatever the Google are providing, services they are providing, we are using it. So while using these services, we are giving too much of information which is not supposed to give, and we are giving this information for free. So they are generating revenues from that. Obviously they are creating ads and stuff, but besides that, let's suppose if government of USA require data about, as in one of the person who is a user of Google, and they require information about that person, that company has to give it. So Google company has to give data to the US government about any whatever the requirement is, whatever the reason is, and the company has to share such data. So in similar manner, all the companies who are based in different countries have to share such information with their company, prospective company or respective companies, right? So if we talk about there are lots of surveillance programs, so lots of countries are running lots of surveillance programs, different programs are there, and they are also using lots of laws as an act to get all this information. So this is a photo of an NSA, how NSA actually requires to get the data from different organizations. Like you can see from the sources, AT&T, Verizon, Sprint are the telecommunication networks, ISPs. They're getting NSA, CIA are getting such information from the companies on the basis of patriotic act. Similarly, companies are this organization NSA is getting all this information, other information besides the telecommunication network. They're gathering information from Facebook, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Yahoo, AOL, and every other companies. They're getting all this information on the basis of FISA Amendment Act. So from all this data, they're gathering all our data and they're creating a profile of us. So while they are creating a profile, they are creating a database as well, and they are sharing such data information with among their organization like CIA, Department of Homeland. Also, they have associated with GCHQ, that is in UK's Government Department of Homeland Security. So they are sharing such information with them as well. Besides that, they are having some surveillance programs, so which came to light in 2013, where lots of leaked documents of the important documents were leaked on in market, that US government is doing surveillance, doing mass surveillance using lots of programs like Prism, Marina, and many other programs they have. So from that, they are actually hacking into each of us, every one of us, our phones data, our phones, smart devices, laptops, everything. So they are hacking into each and every devices that there is in the internet or there is connected into the internet, and they are gathering all the information from that. So how they do it, or what is the reason, or why they are doing it? So again, the answer is they are gathering through information to find the critical, we can say critical information, or we can say it's an important to them to find a future bomb blast or future terrorist attack they are trying to do that. They are trying to find such information so they can actually project that this kind of thing happen. But besides that, the information they are gathering, which is an actually an lawful, it's actually wrong lawfully, and also it is an directly, if we talk about our own as an law, or we can say constitution, according to the Indian constitution. So we have a basic fundamental right of privacy. So it is actually compromising our right, basic rights. So not just in India, everywhere. So even in USA as well, so they have this basic fundamental right of privacy. Similarly in India and across the world, everyone have a right to privacy. So it is actually compromising the right to privacy thing as well. So similarly, there are lots of other countries who are doing mass surveillance. They're gathering information from everywhere. So if we talk about China, so China have these days high-tech cities. In what they have in high-tech cities, they're using lots of AI based surveillance systems. So this isn't just an example of you can see it's an traffic light. So they have this camera on the traffic lights, and they are actually recording each and everything. They are doing surveillance and everything. That you can see that they have this image processing as well in this camera. You can see that what kind of car is there, what is the color of that car, if there is a person who is a cyclist or running, what kind of color he or she is wearing, is he an adult or an infant. So they are gathering all this information. So they are just not just doing surveillance, they are gathering information as well, storing as well, and analyzing as well. So on that basis, they are gathering lots of information. Similarly, how these are not just they are doing surveillance in China, they are doing surveillance from all the gathering information from all across the world, from all the applications the companies have, which is based out of China. So all recently, maybe you saw, and the government of India actually banned almost more than 250 Chinese application in India, because they were getting.
Hello. So coming back to my point, there is a question in the comment. If you can just answer that. So my
Sure, ma'am.
FB account was hacked by someone. Murshidabad cyber cells held me, but they can't understand who hacked this account. The hacker has used VPN. So I have a question: if someone is used VPN and hacked any account, then as a neutralized, what can I do? Thank you. So if you can just answer this question, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. So, if suppose someone hacked your any of account or a computer as well, and you come to know about that, someone hacked your account, and let's suppose in this case, law enforcement actually found that someone actually hacked your account from Murshidabad or some other places. If let's suppose someone using VPN, so what law enforcement can do is they can actually send a legal application to that, or we can say summon kind of thing to that company, and also order from the court that you have to share in details about, or we can say logs, as in technical word is log. Please share a log of your database, that how many or number of user, when they use it, what was the IP address of it, and we require all this database, right? So law enforcement actually requests for the database or logs from that company, from the VPN company, and from that basis they can do analysis of it, and they can find where was the actually perpetrator who actually did this hack.
Thank you so much for answering that question, sir. You can go ahead with your topic.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so I was talking about applications. Then again, so besides the application, all the application that is banned by Indian government of China's application. So that's a good initiative that government of India took, and ban all the Chinese app, because all this Chinese app was actually taking all this sensitive information of us and gathering all this data and sharing this data with the Chinese government. Similarly, not just applications we use in mobile phones on the basis they are gathering information, but on the daily basis, whatever the third party applications or devices, smart devices that we are using, either it's in Google Home Mini, or it's in Home Amazon Alexa, or mixer grinder, or Fitbit, Samsung washing machine, smart washing machine, smart fridge, smart TV, whatever it is. everything can be hacked very easily. All this data can be saved on their web servers or cloud servers, and then from there only it can be hacked. And all this data is actually stored in their server, and even it is shared with the government as well. So I have few case studies. We can I'll discuss about that few case studies. That it was this was the news. Everything is from news only. It's a news reported, and it's publicly available. So it was mentioned, and it according to one report, Google, Amazon approved applications, which was actually third party application, were using Google Home Mini and Amazon Alexa, were actually spying on us through home speakers. So let's suppose if you have an Google Home Mini or Amazon Alexa at your home, so actually this device is spying on us. So if you think that whenever you are asking any question, then and then only this Alexa or Home Mini is giving you answer. Besides that, whatever you do at your home, everything is getting recorded. All this audio is being recorded, and it is shared to their servers, and it is later shared to the government as well. So I have a case study where one murder happened in Florida, and when the murder happened, so there was a device, Amazon Alexa device, present in that room. So what law enforcement did, their local police actually asked for recordings related to that murder case from Amazon Alexa, and they actually gave it, and they solved the case, how the murder happened. So we can understand that if there isn't such internet IoT enabled devices is there in your home, at your room, in your room, so it is recording, it is notifying everything what you are doing in your room. Similarly, there were lots of other cases as well. Even one incident happened where Amazon's ex-executive actually mentioned this thing, and it was reported that he said that I always turn off all my Alexa devices whenever I want to have a private moment. So it is that serious that whenever he is using such devices and it is in your room, so it is very serious that it can record everything. So similarly, there were lots of data or information that has been shared and stored. Similarly, lots of hacks. So as we saw recently, a Russian company actually, or Russian hacker group actually hacked this US defense department, as well as lots of companies, even Microsoft as well, even Google as well. And it was reported that it was hacked from Russia, but Russian government clearly mentioned that they are not responsible for it. But similarly, there are lots of major attacks that happen across the world in different companies, and these are the few companies and number of data, amount of data that was actually losses, and revenue companies that losses. So similarly, there are major recent hacks. Even WikiLeaks was hacked, WhatsApp was hacked, lots of Twitter account was hacked.
I have a question for you. Sorry for interruption. We again have a question for you, sir. It comes from Savita ma'am. Good evening, sir. I have just joined in. Please let me know if there is any method to find out if someone is hacking my mobile or laptop.
For that, actually, we have to look lots of things in your mobile phone, not just phone. We have to look all the third-party application, all the applications that you are using. Besides that, what kind of background services which is running in your phone. So for that, we actually require your phone physically and have to analyze the whole phone. Yes, so besides this thing, all this hacking and surveillance thing happen. So you can do one thing, that you can secure yourself by using secure communication channel. So you can use such applications or say browsing techniques, that if you're using any good browser, so you can use, obviously always use and prefer Firefox browser. If you're using any website, then you can look for some third party application is not accessing that website or gathering information from that website, or you install any add-ons, it is not taking any information about you, sensitive information about you from that browser, and lots of other things as well. So you can use this different kind of add-ons and plugins or application to secure yourself and perform and secure communication. So this is it from my side. If you have any questions, any doubt, anything related to this my session, or anything related to cybersecurity, so you can contact me here. So I'm available on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. This is my contact details, so you can contact me. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Good evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Moving on with our next valuable guest, who is Mr. Matthew K. Thomas. He is a teacher in Don Bosco School, Alakananda, New Delhi. For past 25 years, he's been a master trainer with NCERT and a moderator with CBSC and NIOS. He is an education consultant and resource person for India Today, Z India, Career Launcher, Orange States, and Aaj He has conducted more than 100 workshops for educators and students across the country. He is the author of highly acclaimed book, Refraining Education Vision for New India. Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Welcome
and
to
thank you
the
for the
webinar.
lovely introduction. So
Thank
far,
you
so
so much,
good.
sir. You deserve much more, but we have to cut it short due to time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll also be fast because I'll not be touching on the areas which the people have already touched on.
Yes, we are
So,
actually in a very power-packed session today, and we are moving on
yeah,
quite fast with it. We have
absolutely,
lovely questions from the audience as well to make it more interactive with us.
absolutely,
So the question
absolutely.
over to you,
So,
sir. The question to you would be, how do you find cybersecurity education is important in school level or in form of school level perspective, sir? If you put some
yeah.
light on this.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Actually, the pandemic has, turned the world upside down, I would say. We were trying to move the kids away from the gadgets, and now what is happening is that it has, the reversed. There is no choice. We have to give gadgets to our kids. So while we were teaching the students initially, they always had the upper hand because, technologically kids are much better than adults. But slowly, we realized that what the technology that they are knowing is very superficial because over a period of time, we mastered all the techniques, and I had the chance to interact with thousands of kids who did not have proper access to education. So we used to conduct a lot of classes and so on. So what I felt as an educator was that there is a very thin line of distinction between the real and virtual world as far as kids are concerned. So they were very confused. So if you look at the past years, earlier there was this game called Pokemon, and everybody used to go after that. Then there came something like a blue whale, and then there was this, everyone was making TikTok videos, and then came the PUBG. In fact, when the government banned some of these, there were many kids who went into depression, and because they were playing
Yes, sir.
games all night.
Yes, sir. To add on to this point, I would like to add in one more precious guest for today, who's Mr. Dr. Amitabh Das. So, are you there with us? So, he would be joining in with us very soon. You can continue, sir. Till then, we are waiting for
Yeah,
him to join in with your session so that we can have it
yeah,
more
yeah.
interactive with him to be.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
sir. You can
So,
continue.
so this when the government had banned all this, there were a lot of kids who went into depression. I mean, who actually needed counselors because they were sitting all night playing games, and we used to wonder why he's sleepy. Probably, there are some problems at home. But the real thing we came to know because of this gaming addiction. There were a lot of students who were not able to concentrate on studies, and what we also found was that a lot of personal content was being shared on Facebook, on Instagram. And legal age for social media is 13, but children as young as 11 and 12 used to bluff their way and tell that they're 18 and 19 and open accounts. And what is happening when they're putting the age as 18 and 19, they're only 11 or 12, and they're interacting with actually 20, 21-year-olds. And so you can imagine the nature of conversation which used to happen. So that led to a lot of unpleasant situations in many cases, and because of these, and they were reluctant to talk to their parents about it because probably they have paid some money out of credit cards using the parents' credit card, and they have spent some money on the games. So there were a lot of problems initially, and then thanks to programs like this, when cyber awareness and all were given there, and the solutions were given to them, then there was a little bit awareness. Otherwise, parents were also kept in the dark about these problems. And as they say, think before you leap. Now the new statement I would say is think before you click. As the other speakers have said, there are lots of messages, spam mails, as Kalyan sir said, the spam mails are coming, WhatsApp messages are coming, which are totally unverified. And, it's as they rightly said, WhatsApp university. So, so WhatsApp is the truth now, although 90% of the stuff that is being circulated may be fake. And that is why another good thing that they did was,
There is a
they
small
restricted.
joke out here, sir. I would like to add in. It's
Yeah,
before
yeah, yeah.
going to the doctor is the WhatsApp message which comes up as a status first. So if a person is hurt, it's the WhatsApp
Yes,
status
absolutely.
which comes up before he's visiting to the doctor. So I'm
Yeah,
ill
absolutely.
first,
So
and then visiting a doctor comes second.
yeah, nowadays also you will realize that there are so many solutions to COVID being produced by WhatsApp University. The whole world is confused about a solution, but you find all sort of solutions in WhatsApp. You have to do this kind of asanas, or you eat this food, or you get up at this morning, clap 10 times, all sort of things. And and people actually believe all this. That is the funny part. And it's very
Exactly.
difficult
And
to convince them.
if you pass on to this many number of people, you are successful in achieving that target. So it's like
Yes,
that. It's a
absolutely. Yeah,
circular which
yeah.
passed on and on and on.
Yeah, and moreover, I am surprised when kids are, they download so many games and they give permissions without even reading what is the thing. App permissions, they will ask for your location, which is so dangerous. And they will just click on yes, 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 yes. And ultimately, so many things are being compromised. Especially if you're using your parents' mobile, you realize that there is a lot of sensitive data. There must be, financial transaction taking place. There must be other data which is not supposed to go out. So all these kind of data, when your phone is being used, when app permissions are given to all these unverified apps, then you can realize the dangers which the children are going through. So as I said that, if you are having this thing photograph, earlier in our times, we used to have those photographs, and we could actually literally destroy the print and the product. But now what is happening, the digital footprints can never be erased. Your digital footprints always stays. So wherever you go, people think that, by deleting your history, browse history, everything is deleted. But as, cyber cops, I'm sure you must be realizing and hearing that there are various methods to retrieve data, even if it is erased. So this is very, very funny situation. I also, there are many students who are doing such a dangerous acts to capture on TV so that they get more and more likes. Because this instant gratification is so important for the kids. They want everything instantly. They don't have the patience to, sit down for half an hour and listen to a lesson. So if they are posting something on Facebook or Instagram, they will see after every half an hour how many people have liked that, right? And if they're not getting likes, they're going to get depressed. So they will compete with their friend. What is he posting? So they are trying out dangerous stunts. And recently I was shocked that I think there was a suicide case sometimes back, and they were live streaming the event. And there were about 2,000 people who were actually watching that event. It's so shocking, and nobody actually bothered to report it to the police. And 2,000 people were watching that, and the person hanged himself, something like that happened. And this came in the newspaper. So these kind of dangerous acts are being recorded, and people are watching it. So, the sensitivity is destroyed. People are getting killed. People are committing suicide. It is becoming, they are not able to distinguish what is real and what is a real. So virtual reality and real life, the students are getting confused. And so as a result, what is happening is, now if I talk to some students, they find it difficult to talk face to face, right? Face to face, they don't have words to communicate. It's easier for them to chat. So we wonder, this guy is chatting so much on WhatsApp, or, they're sending so much information, but when we actually are asking them, then they are not ready to talk to us. So as Kalyan sir very rightly said, any kind of cybercrime that is being observed, or you are into problem, then you need to report. This has to be given to the students, that you need to report at the portal, that is cybercrime.gov.in, which is, every child or every parent and every educator should know this, that there is a process. And especially child rights are so good in India. Any child who is below the age of 18 has got special protection. So we need to make use of the laws that are existing here. And what is happening is that there is a lot of addiction going on in the kids. So they are not able to concentrate on their studies. So the future is a question mark, actually. Now, suddenly we had to shift to online studies. So we had a parenting specialist who said that there is no choice now but to give them gadgets, but give them a laptop or something which has a big screen so that it can be monitored. But at the same time, we are finding it difficult to keep the kids out of these gadgets because they've got addicted to it. And I am surprised at how some people at the age of 2 and 3 give their iPhone or iPad to the child, so that the child is busy watching a cartoon, and they feed them. The child is watching that program, and then the feeding is happening, everything is happening. Why? Because the parent is free. So to a large extent, I would say parents are spoiling their kids with the gadgets. They don't realize initially, but when they become addicts, it becomes very difficult for them to concentrate in their academics later on. So you have kids attending classes with their cameras off probably and playing games or watching movies, and you have nothing to do it. So the big question mark is, after all the pandemic is over, when we come to actually schools, are the children going to actually attend the classes? Many of them will prefer sitting at home and having this mode because it's very convenient for them. Accountability is very less. So when we ask some questions, the mic never works. Sir, I am having some issues with my mic, or I am having, because I'm having a Wi-Fi problem, so I'm not able to put the video on. So these are the common excuses which we come to, in the interactive sessions that we have with the students we face. But gradually, I feel that if the parents, educators, and with awareness programs like what you have organized, then I think the awareness is the first step into something concrete that can happen. So once the parents are aware, okay, many parents are not even aware. They think that, as Kalyan sir said, I really like, everybody in Bengal thinks that their child is Mark Zuckerberg. Same is happening everywhere in India, I think. So when the child is getting very less marks in computer, the parent is saying in one of the PTMs when we interacted, he's sitting whole day in the computer. Why is he getting less marks in the computer? So the parent is thinking, just by sitting in front of the computer, he is actually learning a lot. But what do you see on the computer? Are you, watching? Even YouTube has got good, valuable sessions. It has got sessions which can also, be on the borderline of pornography or violence. There are so many games where children are enjoying by killing others. I was surprised, right? The names and all, I think GTA or something, somebody was mentioning, they play these kind of games where you have to actually kill people. So you see that killing, they are getting excited because of that. And then they will have tantrums at home. They will throw things at home. The parent is wondering what is happening. Actually, what is happening is that the child, because of playing these games over a period of time, that has become an inbuilt, emotion for him. That is how to attack people. He is not able to converse normally with the people around him because he finds that the defensive mode or the attacking mode is always better because he's into that. So that's what is the main concern. Thank God we didn't have all this when we were small. We didn't even have TV. The TV used to be just 1 or 2 hours in the evenings. So we belong to that generation where we did not have any distraction. But today's times is very difficult. Although we are having on one end coding and artificial intelligence and the high-end products, you just click something and miracles happen. But at the same time, on the other end, we have children to control, and the parents are not aware of what they're actually watching and what these things can lead to. So I would like to conclude today's session by saying that just like we have good citizens in the country, we have some rights and duties. Same way we should be good netizens. So and we should have good netiquettes. So if every parent, every educator lays down these netiquettes, I think the children will gain. And a constant form of guidance is important. And once we do that, I think all these dangers of phishing, of email, of fake WhatsApp forwards, and addiction to the gadgets will reduce to a large extent. So on this note, I wish that there is cyber wellness everywhere and digital wellness everywhere. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening. And thank you for such a wonderful session. Moving ahead, we have Mr. Sandeep Sengupta waiting with us in the green room. Can we have him with us right now? He's the director of Indian School of Anti-Hacking, ISOAH. Sir.
Very good evening.
Good evening, sir. So over to you. We would like to ask you the question that the basic opportunities you think in the cyber security, sir. If you can just elaborate on this point, and we would be having the question answers that, as usual, we are having. We will just point into you if we have something relevant. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I just need one permission. Can I share my screen? I want to show you something that a lot of people were asking some questions. Maybe I can answer 1 or 2 of them by showing my screen, sharing my screen. Is it allowed?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. The screen is all
Okay,
yours.
okay. So, see, I'm sharing a screen of mine, and many of you are asking, how can I stop my Facebook and Gmail hacking? Whether to use VPN, how can I catch the person, hacker? There's a very basic way to protect your social media and your email account. So I'm giving you one example. I believe you can see my Gmail trash box, right, Debolina madam?
Yes, sir.
If you look into
Yes, sir.
this Gmail interface, at the very top you will see there is a icon which is just next to my avatar. And if you click on that icon, which is basically 9 dots, if you open your Gmail account, you will get this particular at the top right corner. You click on those 9 dots, and if you click on accounts, you will go to the settings of your Gmail. Now, if you go to the setting of your Gmail, there is something called security. Click on security, and you will come to this page which talks about two-step verification. By default in Gmail, this two-step verification is switched off. So if you check your Gmail, you will see it is by default, it is not off. This is off, not on. So if you have put your mobile number over there and switch it on, whenever you put your ID password in your laptop and try to log into your Gmail, they will send you a OTP to your mobile number. Since that OTP will only come to your mobile, any hacker who has already compromised your ID and password will still not be able to hack into your Gmail. See, I was listening to the speakers. This password thing will be obsolete within another few years. Password is difficult to remember and is very easy to steal. So everybody will slowly switch to the OTP system, the two-factor authentication or the OTP. Now, if you switch on, and Facebook also have a OTP. If you go to Facebook, I have opened my Facebook. Again, at the top right corner, if you go to settings and privacy and go to the setting, you will come to a page. I'm showing my Facebook. My account is a little bit slow. Yeah, now it has come. So if you click on security and login on the left side, you will see again two-factor authentication is present in Facebook, and it is present in LinkedIn, present in Instagram, everywhere. But by default, it is switched off. You have to put your mobile number over there and switch it on, and no hacker can hack into your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Gmail, anywhere. This is a feature that you must enable just to stop the any hacking attempt, because this is the future. OTP is the future. Okay, now coming to the next part, I am stopping my screen. Right, I'm stopping my screen. Now comes the second point. If I do this, can hackers still hack it? Yes, there is one possibility, and that is because if only you do something very silly. What silly activity can be done by the person? We are installing lot of apps in our mobile. Have you ever checked when you install these apps what type of access you are providing? Because whenever you install an app into your mobile, it will give you a pop-up which shows that I will be accessing this type of apps, this type of access to your mobile. And in those access list, you will see one access is your SMS. So any app that you are giving access to your OTP, to your SMS, basically you are giving access to your OTP, and that is the only reason if this can be hacked. So we have to be very careful that this mobile, whatever apps I'm installing, am I giving access to the OTP? Am I giving access to SMS? Now, the third question that you might ask me, I have already installed a lot of apps, which is very difficult to uninstall. So, what to do? They might have access to SMS and OTP. How to stop it? So, in answer to that is, if you go to your mobile, go to your setting, and go to the application manager, every mobile have this feature, and check the list of access. You can basically slide the slider over there and stop access to the SMS for any app. Do this, app will still be working. It is all these apps will work even if you remove the SMS access from the app. And if you remove the access, then definitely that app cannot have access to your OTP. Well, since a lot of questions came on this, I wanted to highlight this, because the next thing that the hackers are focusing is not laptop, desktop, is the mobile. Now, somebody have asked a question over there. Somebody has asked a question. Okay, I will take on all the questions one by one. Somebody has earlier asked a question that
What about SMS gateway hacking in case of OTP dependence?
no, SMS gateway hacking is something not an ordinary hacker can do. So if the software itself is getting compromised, see, it all depends. I go to a lot of hundreds of companies for audit, right? From PwC to Tata Steel to ONGC to your Airtel, Vodafone. These are all my audits, even your Bandhan Bank. So when we go to audit for a company, we always see what type of hackers are going after you. If you are Pentagon, there is a different level of hackers going after you. If you are a Aam Janata, then is a different category of hackers going after you. If you are working in the home ministry, then you have to be much more alert, because a different class of hackers will go after you. A normal hacker,
absolutely,
who goes after like bank stealing credit cards, stealing money, they are not very skilled hackers. They basically fool you, and they do not have the skill to hack into the SMS gateway. So if you do basic level protection, you are basically safe from 60-70% of the hackers. And the remaining 30 or 20% of the hackers are not interested in you. So you don't have to worry about them. When we go to a telecom company or when we go to a bank, we give them a different advice, because they have a different class of hackers go after them. So what are the things that you need to be very careful about? One person earlier asked a question: how can I keep my mobile secured? How can I know that somebody has hacked into my mobile? So there is a very
And
nice
now
tool.
to this point of OTP also, sir, we have another question, that if
Yes,
my
please go
SIM
ahead.
card is blocked or lost, so if you can see that, it's Suhana Nag. If my SIM card is blocked or lost on any day after switching on the two-step verification, then how can I access my email? So, sir, would you like to answer this question as well?
Right. Yes, yes. So if you go to back to that SMS, you will see that they have options to give you some backup codes. If I go to this, you will see there are some recovery phones, recovery emails, and recovery security questions. Not only that, there are alternate options, some backup codes, because this happens when you go abroad. If you go abroad without activating your
The phone is
international
not
roaming,
working.
OTP will not work. So what we do at that time, all these applications gives you a way to have some backup alternate options which you usually do not use. So what we can do, we can have a backup option where some 10-15 codes we keep in our backup. So even if the OTP is not there, we can use these codes to log in for an emergency purpose. Otherwise, this OTP, second point is OTP only will be asked once. So if you are using the same laptop, the OTP will be not be asked every time. But the hacker is using a different laptop. So the moment he tries a different laptop, his own laptop, to hack into your ID, then he will be asked an OTP. But you will not be bugged with again and again with an OTP once you log in from a single machine. and you have given the OTP. Second, third time, fourth time, you will not be asked, but he will be asked. So these type of features are already there. You can explore on this. Now the question that I was coming to, some person asked, how can I know that if somebody has hacked into my mobile, right? I think Sarita madam has asked this. There's a very nice tool called Lookout. Lookout, Lookout. This is a free tool you can install in your mobile, and it has a lot of features. It can actually tell you that what type of activity is going on in your mobile, because practically if your mobile doesn't have an antivirus, any antivirus or a security tool, you do not manually cannot understand what type of activity is going on in the mobile. I mean, we as security guys, we have 21 years of experience. We work very closely with Calcutta Police, CID. So we know what are the things going on. Like I once I told in a TV channel that if you are keeping the mobile inactive, you are not charging, and the mobile is getting very hot, then there is a problem. You have to be very suspicious, because that was happening with the political leaders where the mobile was getting spied. But in your case, that will most likely not happen. So what you have to do, just install a tool like Lookout or download from your App Store or Play Store, and keep that in your mobile. Anything suspicious happens, that will alert you. That is the best way for you to take care of your mobile. And most of us are very careful about your laptop, desktop, but very careless, reckless about your mobiles. So if I take a survey, how many percentage of all the viewers have at least one security software in the mobile? 50% will say I don't have anything. So that is the biggest problem. Third point is, you forward lot of WhatsApp message right from morning, good morning message, best wishes message, and these are your photo, video, links, PDF files. I'm telling you, these are dangerous thing to do, because as an ethical hacker, or if I want to become an unethical hacker, I can send a message, image or a video or a link to one of you, and you will be forwarding to hundreds of people, and they will forward to thousands of people, and I will have a control of all your mobiles, and I will have full control of your mobile the moment you click on it. Now the third point is that dangerous thing that is happening, a lot of people got fooled. Whenever you have problem, you go to Google and start searching, because as Google knows everything. Hackers also know that you will be doing. So what hackers are doing, they have created fake websites with a very good search engine optimization. And this site, whenever you search with a keyword that I am not being able to solve a bank problem or WhatsApp problem or whatever problem you have, they know the keywords that can be easily found by AdWords. These sites comes at the top, and moment you click on those sites and call those help desk number, these guys will immediately tell you, sir, I can solve your problem. You just have to install one of our customer support app in your mobile. And those customer support apps are nothing but AnyDesk and TeamViewer. The moment you install AnyDesk or TeamViewer in your mobile, in your handset, you are finished. I have seen hundreds of people calling me. I mean, I get almost 3-4 calls every day. Sir, my money got stolen. Because the moment you put AnyDesk in your mobile, immediately your SMS, your OTP can be viewed by the hacker, and he will start a banking transaction. He will not even need to ask you the OTP. He can see the OTP from his handset to add logging into your handset, and you will lose a lot of money. So keep in mind, AnyDesk or TeamViewer never install in your mobile. Third thing is, a lot of people call me every day that bank credit card, my money is stolen. Big mistake that you people do, that you go to restaurant and give the debit card or credit card to a waiter. See, if I want to buy something on a foreign site, that is maybe an American site like Amazon.com, not Amazon.in. If I want to buy in Amazon.com, try it yourself. You will not need any PIN or OTP. Foreign sites do not need PIN OTP. So if I take a photo of both sides of a debit card, credit card, I can make any purchase of 40, 50,000 rupees without a single PIN or OTP coming to you. So do not hand over your credit card, debit card to somebody who is out of your sight. He will take 2 photos using your phone and your money is gone. Next part is we get a lot of phishing emails. Again, I was listening to Kalyan sir that why do I download attachment? See, emails comes from spoofing. That means I can, as a programmer or any college student, can send an email from anybody's ID to another person's ID. What does that mean? That means when you compile an email, you write in to CC BCC. Can you write in the from field? So that becomes a problem. I can write in the from field. So if email comes from, I can send an email from Debonila madam's email to any one of your email. And the email, when it comes from the tax department or the HR department as your tax refund or your HR appraisal, you tend to download that attachment. Anyway, I will conclude my session. I think time is up. Just by saying
Yes, sir.
that
It's almost we are on the verge of ending the show. Almost in 15 minutes
maybe
left.
1 minute I will take from
Sure,
you.
sir. Sure,
As
sir.
we
You can
ask the
proceed.
question- as you asked the question at the beginning, what is the future for the study? Well, in Indian School of Ethical Hacking, we teach around 1,200 students, and ethical hacking have a lot of potential. Even the fresher engineers are getting 2 lakhs per month salary nowadays. So what we have seen that if you learn ethical hacking or forensic, especially forensic, Calcutta Police, CID need a lot of people. Even the West Bengal State Forensic Board is the lab is taking training from us from Indian School of Ethical Hacking.
So
So
there's
that is
one more
very
interruption, sir. There's one more question in the chat. If you can just answer that, that's been again by Savita ma'am. Can Lookout be download for laptop as well? You can just answer
no
that as well, sir.
lookout is for mobile. Lookout is for mobile, for not for laptop.
Okay. All right.
So there is a
All
lot
right.
of opportunity for forensic. Please go ahead, and I the time was short. Thank you very much for the opportunity to Rajarshi, Debonila madam, and QTV Live. All the best. Stay
Thank you
safe,
so much. It's a
digitally
pleasure
safe.
having you with
Thank
us,
you.
sir. Thank you so much. That's our motto for the day. Thank you so much, sir. Moving ahead, we have Dr. Amitabh Dasgupta with us. Presently, he's working as a lead scientist at the newly built Wipro AI and Industry Research Lab at Bangalore, India. He have experience for 2 academic postdocs in Europe and in United States. Welcome, sir. Can we have
Thank,
you in the screen?
thank you, thank you. Yes. Can you see me? Hi.
Yes, sir. Fit and fine. Good evening.
Thank you for the invitation. I'd like to share my
Thank you,
screen.
sir.
I'd like to show something.
So I'll just ask a little question to you.
Sure.
Is artificial intelligence researchers in an academical level, sir? I'll just like to ask you a question. Kindly help us with your views for social media, fake and hate news, and social impact of cybersecurity. I hope
Right.
that's one of the points that covered in your discussion too.
Yes, exactly. So I'll be talking about those aspects today and what is the problem in current social media, hate speech, fake news, even cyber terrorism. So what's the challenges and how we can solve it and what we are trying to do. I'd like to hover at the 10,000 feet. I cannot go in detail of technicality due to the short time of this session, but I'd like to cover all the aspects. Can I start?
Absolutely, sir. We can see your screen as well.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Okay, so a very small prelude of my presentation today. I would like to quote Meghnad Shah here. Once he said, E equal to MC squared has not been discovered to create atom bomb. There are set of people who created atom bomb. There are set of people who created atomic energy. So technology is actually disrupting and getting evolved very quickly. Every 2-3 years, it's changing very rapidly. So there are people who are actually creating this kind of things, and we are at the good side, technologists. We are trying to solve this problem using technology, using AI, using machine learning, using mathematics, statistics, and so on. So today I'll be talking about one project. We call it Helios. It actually captured 3 major aspects of the current social media. One is hate speech, second is fake news, and third is cyber terrorism. So there are a lot of technical terms. It's okay if you don't understand. I'd like to cover all of them. one by one. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to make holistic system which can understand problem in US, in India, and also cover all these languages: Hindi, English, Spanish, Spanglish, and so on. So it's a major project using we have four organization part into it: IIT Patna, UT Austin, and IIIT Delhi. So a lot of people. So there's a major four pillar of this project. So one is hate speech, second is fake news, third is diffusion, and fourth is multimodality. So let me very quickly go through one by one. What is hate speech and why this is a problem? So the problem with hate speech is, if you read this one, you can possibly see clear hate here. Okay, so Trump is talking against Mexico and they're not our friend and so on. But if you remember, in few years back, Sonu Nigam tweeted this, and which created a lot of controversy in the country. But look at this, where is the hate? Anybody can hardly find it out. And we need discretion of human to understand, okay, there is a religious angle here, and which might create some certain kind of problem. And also Sonu Nigam being a celebrity has a lot of influence. It can create a lot of upheaval in the society. So this is the problem. So we don't know where to draw the line between hate speech and free speech. And there are a lot of law, amendments, etc., going over all the world. So if we look at the Facebook report, which came out last year before the presidential election last year, they said a lot of things. I don't want to go into the details of the report, but one major thing they said, that due to the huge volume of Facebook and social media, manually correcting them is rather impossible. So we need certain technology which can automatically do something. And where we come in, we are trying to make certain algorithm and certain technology here which can actually help people. I don't know, I want to jump all this technicality. So what we are doing currently, we are actually looking into all social media feed from all these cities in India, around 20 cities, and all these cities in the US. So we are actually looking into all the posts coming into from all these cities. Either it's Twitter, either it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or something else. Sorry for my throat. Now, what we are trying to do, we are trying to go deeper into hate and trying to demystify it. What is the problem with hate? First level of understanding we are trying to get from any text or any messages, whether this is hateful or not hateful. If it is hateful, how much hateful it is? It's very aggressive, or covertly aggressive, or non-aggressive. Now in the next level, whether there is an explicit target of that hate, any community, any person, or any organization, or who, explicit or implicit, then the target is individual or group or something else. Is there a named entity, name being clearly mentioned into that hate, or any organization, or any location, or any community? And finally, we are trying to understand what kind of hate it is: religious, political, sexist, or racist. Now, you might ask why these four categories. If you look at all the law amendments happen recently in all over the world, if you look at the GDPR and the recent draft India created, which is not sanctioned yet, people are talking about, government is actually concerned about these four categories. Other than that, hate against me, hate against somebody else, people don't care. So this is the kind of setup we have created, and we are looking into all the social media posts and going through our system and trying to getting classified into these buckets. Now this is not an easy problem, because there are a lot of cultural centricity of hate speech. If I show you the example, you can easily understand. So let's say some cultural centricity. This is the some picture of the Air Force and the new, I forget the name, the new aircrafts came out and so on, and people start talking about send them to Pakistan. Now you can understand from being Indian, this is clearly hate speech. But send them to Nepal might not be hate speech. So how can a machine understand this kind of problem? Similarly, if you look at the recent upheaval in the US about black and white color discrimination, etc., there are a lot of tweets on this and Facebook messages: go back to Africa, or send them back to Africa, and so on. So these are clearly hate speech. So, but send them back to Canada might not be hate speech. So how can a machine understand this kind of problem, and how can we solve this? So we are working in this field. Again, I will not go into the technical details of this, how we are developing system and so on. Now, a bigger challenge people are thinking and discussing about. So, can we create certain system which can take this hate speech and de-hateify them automatically? So there are certain progress, but again, the horizon is too far to reach out. But people, we develop certain system which can do this. So given this kind of hate speech, it can de-hateify this, and it can create certain de-hateified version of it. Still, the message is same, but it's not possible for everything. And mostly we have seen if there are racist comment, we can't do anything with them. For example, niggers and etc., which are basically by itself a slang. So we can't change this nigger to something else. And also there are cultural centricity, etc. There are a lot of countries. We cannot make one system which will be working for everybody. But still, we are making some progress here. Then again, now let me jump this. Okay. Now, the second part of it, when a hate message or fake news come, there's a certain reach it has to reach out. Who are the people who will be affected to that? So can we, understand by certain kind of diffusion technique, who are the people who will be affected using this kind of, hate speech and fake news? And can we stop that there? So the two part of it. One is, can you understand there's a fake news? How we can understand that? That's a big question. I'll come there. And second, given this possible news, how many people it will be reaching out to? How many people will be, reading this out, retweeting this, or commenting this, and so on. So two part of that. So I'll be going one by one. So fact checking or fake news detection need a fact checking automatically. For example, if I say let's say Joe Biden denied to take the throne of presidency, it's a fact. Now it has to be checked by somebody. So there are manual processes, but can you do it automatic? So that's where we are working in. So I'll be showing you 2 minutes demo what we developed during the COVID-19 fake news.
Hello and welcome to a quick demonstration of the web-based interface for Factemic, a system for detecting whether a tweet posted is fake or not. This interface is meant for the purpose of demonstrating different stages involved in the system. We have different elements and frames on this page dedicated for displaying various relevant details and related statistics. First, we select a city from the list of options available for which we would like our system to initiate the fake news detection pipeline. Let's go ahead with the city of Delhi. The first frame here displays the incoming live stream of tweets along with their level 1 categorization and the probability of prediction. The categories are direct claim, opinion, quote, indirect claim, and no claim. The second frame to the right here displays the tweets which are fact-check worthy and will be processed further for evaluating the veracity of a given fact-check worthy tweet. The frame below displays the verdict on whether the tweet has fake content or not, along with the prediction probabilities. Also displayed is a list of top 10 resources that the system uses to perform textual entailment. The stats shown below this frame give the count of tweets belonging to different categories, defined for level 3, like rumor, authorities, fake cure, etc. At the bottom, we have the tweets being displayed along with the level 3 category they belong to.
Hopefully you understand what we are trying to do. Let me jump this and directly go into the diffusion section. Let me just quickly tell you. Debonila, I can't hear you.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm sorry I interrupted you, but we are almost on the verge of ending this show. It's 2 hours done.
Sure.
So I'd like to call in the rest of our guests who are waiting in the green room. So share the screen with you and time's up.
So I can stop here?
So I'll call in. No, sir. You can continue, and we will we'll let the others join in at the same time. We can call in Shougata Sharkar, mental health enthusiastic storyteller, and an actor voiceover artist. Sir Amal Sarkar, Senior Editor of Aishamay Shangbad Patro, and Mr. Rajarshi Rai Choudhury, the man behind the entire screen. So we can just have all of you together in the same screen to discuss all our problems and concerns for the webinar. Welcome, Swagato.
Thank you, Debonila. Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Good
Hello.
evening. So we can have all of them together to have the discussion for the session. Mr. Amal Sarkar is yet to join in with us. We can continue with the session. Sir, over to you.
I can go on?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Amitabh, you can go on. Just
Fine.
after 2-3 minutes, we can join in a question answer session, because
Okay.
from 8 p.m. it's a question answer session, and we'll be ending after that.
It's already 8.
Okay, yeah, you can just finish it up. Your speech, what you are continuing, you can just finish it. Then we can join. No problem.
Time went on, and we were like mesmerized with all the speakers and their, valuable speeches that we have been going through all the session. So we couldn't understand that 2 hours are gone so fast. Yes, sir, over to you.
Okay, thank you. So we are also working on, as I said, on the diffusion part. I don't have time to go through all these
Hello,
things.
everyone.
So I just show you what we are trying to do here. We are trying to develop a system which can actually give us a simulation when given a hate speech and fake news, how many people it will be affected in real life. So this is the kind of simulation we have in the system. And also with hate speech and fake news, it is highly related to culture. So when you look at countries, we look at kind of culture of the country. For example, I mean, you can understand being Indian. Let's say there's a religious fake news, it will be more viral in Benares versus, let's say, Bangalore. So we have certain kind of preset of the locality and their values and ethics and so on. There are a lot of psychosociological model here. I can't go through that. Also, we have similar for US and so on. So we are developing this kind of system. Then we are looking into hyper partition. A lot of media have their biases to certain parties and so on and so forth. So with this, then coming to the multimodality part. So it's not only text, but there are certain pictures which are mocked and which are actually fake news. So how we can understand and fact check this kind of images. So we are developing system. We call it Imaginator, which looks something like this. I don't have time to go here. And finally, the terrorism and the recruitment. I can go over and over in this topic. This is very close to my heart. So this is certain statistics from ISIS, which is actually now getting collapsed slowly, but there are other organizations coming out. So this is a statistic for 2050, how many people got recruited over social media through ISIS. So that's a big challenge. And I also raised several flags in India. And when you look at India as a social media, it has a lot of problem because people don't speak one language. People speak this kind of language. People write Benglish, English, and so on. So a lot of challenges when we are talking about technology in this kind of things. And also the recent challenges joining to this is called memes. So which is a image added with certain kind of text. So this is the kind of technological dimension we are currently working on. And I'd like to end here and coming back to the panel.
Thank you so much, sir. Good evening. Shogato, over to you.
Yes,
I'll have few questions together for you, piled up one after the another. So take your time and answer them. How do the scammers find their victims or targets? Or what makes us vulnerable to the scammers? How do we fall in their traps? So this would be a second question. Coming to the last question, not the least, what behavior modifications can we think of? So over to you.
Okay. Thanks for the question. I'll touch upon the behavioral aspect of the perpetrators of the.
Kindly be a little louder because your voice is not very audible.
Okay, if I keep it like this, can you hear me now, loud and clear?
yes.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes, it's
yes,
clear.
yes.
Clear.
It's better.
Okay, thanks for the
Better.
confirmation. It's
Yes, it's
better.
better.
Okay, could have been better. So Napoleon once said something. This is not Napoleon Hill of Think and Grow Rich fame. Napoleon Bonaparte said that war is 90% information. So this rings so true now, because for the data thieves, our attention, our focus is their fodder. Our data, our information, be it personal information or financial information, these are their interest. Once a pedophile was being interviewed. He was a child molester also, not only a pedophile. He was asked about the modus operandi. How did he choose his victims? He said something that might be insightful for us. That is not cybercrime though, but it can give good insight for us. He said that he used to wait outside some school gate. He used to see the parents coming and dropping their children. And from his observations, he thought that there are two kinds of parents. One set of parents were those who used to drop their children, and after dropping their children, they used to wait for the children to go inside the school premises, and they used to cast a lingering glance on them until they disappear into the school, and still they would wait lest the children come and say something, say their needs. And another set of parents were there who were like the Amazon delivery boy in COVID times. They would just come and drop their children, drop and deliver and go away. The second set of children were the target for the perpetrator. So what insight do we get from this story? This is a true story. Okay. So the thing is that the perpetrators are aware of the need gaps, of the lacuna, of the unmet needs of the victims. Okay. So every behavior under the sun, each and every behavior under the sun actually is propelled, is fueled by or driven by our needs. So there are basically five kinds of needs: the physical needs, food, shelter, safety, security, love and belongingness need, the power need, the need for freedom, for fun. You can see the power need. The politicians are going back and forth to different parties for gaining the power need. So you can see the power need there. So why we are here today, here on a Sunday evening? Because we want to secure our data. We want to secure our data, our information from the perpetrators. So every behavior is driven by needs, and our needs are our vulnerabilities. They are already, they are vulnerabilities, and they become more so when they become our wants, when we cannot differentiate between our wants and our needs. If you know how to write, an Agni gel pen will suffice. It will be adequate. You don't need any Pierre Cardin or any Waterman or Cross or Platinum pen. So but the thing is that we need to feel important. We need to feel better prepared to cope with the stress. We need to be better than others in our herd. So there are biological reasons and evolutionary reasons for this need. Here comes the dopamine, a neurotransmitter, a monoamine neurotransmitter, that is there for the reward. Whenever our organism perceives something to be important for our survival, so survival means all those five needs: physical needs, belongingness needs, power, freedom, fun. Whenever our organism perceives, here the word perceives is important, that might not be really important, but whenever we perceive something to be important, we go for that. And there is dopamine secretion. There's some parts there in our brain, VTA, ventral tegmental area. I am not going into the details of those things. There are two pathways. One is called the mesolimbic pathway, and another is mesocortical pathway. They give us the impetus to the energy to go for the reward, to grab it. And then we lose our rational faculty. Then we are not able to exercise our rational faculty. Though a rational part is there, a little bit of PFC is also there, prefrontal cortex, but then we rationalize our decisions to grab that rewarding thing. What you mean by rationalize? Actually, we tell ourselves rational lies, rational lies, and we fall prey to the traps of the victims, of the perpetrators. We become the victims. Okay. So a little bit about the behavioral modification part. So I have to castle my speech a bit actually. As far behavioral modification is concerned, we have to be aware about, I mean, whether we can differentiate between our wants and our needs, first of all. Then we can self educate, we can educate ourselves by attending these kinds of webinars. And moreover, we can work with our self esteem issues, because if we are operating from the place of I am not enough, we'll always be asking for the rewards. Ye dil mange more syndrome. Okay. So before taking any decisions, before buying anything, any product or any service, before answering to any email, before opening any attachment, we can think of a quotation by Viktor Frankl, that between stimulus and response there is a space, and in that space is our power to choose our response, and in our response lies our growth and our freedom. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
I cannot hear you.
Yes.
I'm sorry, extremely sorry. I was just forgot to unmute the mic. So it
Okay.
is really a very crunchy and nice speech by Shogoto. So now I would like to invite Mr. Amol Sharkar to say something about the necessity of cyber safety and the necessity of the press, as he is a very senior person in the press media in a very reputed Bengali daily in Kolkata and other cities. So I would like to request you kindly enlighten us on how the press is very important for spreading this cyber safety features and spreading the the cyber security issues. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rajarshi. Good evening. First of all, I like to convey my best wishes to all of you for 2021, and my sincere gratitude to Rajarshi for giving me this platform to share our thoughts and our contribution to this issue. Uh, from the very beginning of our paper, we in Aishumai, we tried our best to be a friend, philosopher, and guide for our readers. And we chose two segments which are very important for our daily life. So, cyber security was one of them. As you all probably know, that there is a marked distinction between the conventional crime and the crime committed by the cyber technology. So what we did so far, we tried our best to give this paper as a platform to aware people. People like Rajarshi and some other those who know about the technology and the crime, how the crime is
Uh,
committed.
Amalda, I'm just interrupting you.
Yes.
Can you please put the the microphone bit higher, because it is just yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
So,
Now it
so far our paper, we tried our
and
best,
from and yes, yes, yes. Then it's okay. Okay,
and
fine,
so far
fine, fine.
our paper, we tried our best to make it a platform for our readers so that they can share their views, their issues, and we tried to accommodate the answer and the analysis, explanation from the resource person like Rajoshi and so many other people. We organized some events where Rajoshi also participated. Especially, we focused on the senior citizens because they are the generally they are the common victim, and during especially during these lockdown and corona pandemic days there are so many incident we faced that the senior citizens became victim for by this cyber crime people. So I think the paper, what paper can do for paper, for every issue, paper can do, they can make it a platform so that people and the resource person, they can exchange their views. They can got the answer how to face this challenge, this news challenge. So I think this digital literacy also should be the part of this campaign, this initiative, digital initiative, literacy first. And then in the previous speaker, one previous speaker, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. He said that they should be in teaching curriculum, and I think they should be. And time has come to start this process immediately because uh, these days we are facing corona, but how the global pictures are changing very quickly. So many other problem like this kind of disaster may come, so that we would be very dependable on the digital platform. So our life would be changed. So I think this digital literacy and the digital crime and cyber crime related issues must be incorporated in our syllabus, especially from 8, 9, 10 this standard, and definitely up to college and university. And for the community, I think government and the social organization should organize some training camps, awareness camps, where media can focus how, what are the issues coming there, how government try to face those issues, and the community as a whole how they address the issue. So media can be a common platform for sharing. This much I can say you. With these words, I like to thank you, all of you, for giving me this opportunity to share our thoughts and contributions. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much.
I would like to
Over
add
to
on to this
Debolina.
point, sir. Your
Yes.
your daily your daily esteem has actually helped me when I was a victim of such a cyber crime, and I did not know where to go about. When Rajarshi was one of the person who helped me out, and Aishamoy was immensely supportive to point out my views as well as the views of as far as the administrative background is concerned and how the cyber crime entirely happened. And we both could connect both the parties, means I and the bank, and Rajashida was there. And it creates an immense wave in terms of media as well. When it was actually published, when my friends, my relative, everybody came up to me asking, how did you go about the process, ye kaise kiya, wo waise kiya, and kaise karna chahiye, kaise nahi karna chahiye. There were a lot of questions which were piled up. Most of us are not aware of it. And thank you so much, sir, that in your esteem daily I got in place to
Thank
put
you.
forward my views as well as the cyber crime that happened with
Thank
me
you.
as well.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Amanda, regarding the
Yes.
question, what I have just asked you, that
Yes. Yes.
what is actually the role of the daily. So Debolina itself is the
Yes.
example for that. Who is by
Actually,
virtue of
we
that,
believe in
she
this
is the
philosophy.
moderator.
We believe in this philosophy that the media should be the friend, philosopher, and guide. And these days,
Absolutely,
our
absolutely.
role
Yes,
has
it's
been,
sharing and caring.
yes, yes, yes. And news we can use. The news we can use. The news we also
Absolutely, sir.
hunt news for curiosity, and the news, what the informations or the news the we can use for our daily life. So we tried our best
Absolutely.
to give those role, promote those role, and this is a continuous process. And without your help, this cannot possible to reach the final stage. But I think this should be the role of the media, so that they should make it a platform for sharing the issues, uh, people's view, the resource persons, the administration, the police, because this is a new thing. We don't know who.
Absolutely.
Yes, that is the
and and
issue, I
most
think.
and most importantly, what I like to mark, that is the first thing, that when the incident of Debonila happened, that was reported in the newspaper. And again, when the thing was resolved, that was again
When
reported.
actually, yes,
That means,
exactly. When
yes,
I
that
got
means
back the
the follow-up
amount
news.
back to my bank,
Yes,
again the same thing was again reported in the newspaper, and
again.
then again
So that's
everybody
the
got to
follow-up
know the
news.
news event.
Yes,
Actually,
the
we
follow-up
cover
news.
crime story. If you have followed our story, we covered crime stories. Uh, what were the faults of the victim, whether it
Right,
was avoidable or not. That was our story always.
right,
That was
right.
in case of any murder or any dacoity or any case. We always focus whether it was avoidable or not. What was the mistakes done by the victim? That is
Absolutely.
because that's the part of our uh, regular lesson, regular teaching of for our readers. So I think media can perform by this way, that they can make it a sharing platform for all.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
knowing the
Thank you so
numbers
much.
of the right persons and saving them in your phone is also a part of the behavioral modification.
Yes, 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 yes,
Hmm.
yes.
So right now I'll be asking to all the listeners and the viewers who are there from the very beginning and who are just putting a very patient hearing to this beautiful webinar. So I think this is really important for you. And if you have got any question, this is our questionnaire session, and we all five are there for the questionnaires. So if there is any question, you can just put the question here so that our moderator can put the question to the respective speakers. Uh, by the way, I'm just starting with some very important points. So from the very beginning, I was just listening to the whole thing, and it was really a good insight for everybody. I think uh, more or less, the most of the topics have been covered. So this is the main issue here in this webinar. So one thing I just put as an add-on, that whenever you are using the social media, whenever you are playing with the third party applications, we all play with the third party applications. So that is a very important part, that we play with the third party applications. How do I look like an actor or an actress? What will be my profession in the next life? So all these very catchy questions, those come to us. So whenever we play that, what happens? That we put a tap to play button there, and whenever you tap on that, what happens? That the company, without giving you any notice, the company takes out every information you have in your phone, and it creates a database, and that database is often sold out, that is analyzed and sold out somewhere in the darknet or in the deep web. And that can be purchased by two ways. One set of data can be sold to a marketing segment, where they can go for a market research and where they can go for their product selling. And the second part, which is that it can be sold to the perpetrators, I mean to the cyber fraudsters, who can call you for the phishing calls. So whenever you get a phishing call, we never ask this question to ourselves, that where from these peoples are getting our numbers. So we have to be very much conscious about, actually in India, what is happening, that we are not at all conscious about our own safety, our own data safety. We are absolutely not serious about that. And that is the main issue why Cyberguru is here, and why all these people around us who are here in this workshop, in this webinar, and who are working in their respective fields to make people aware about their vulnerability points. That is the main important thing, that you have to make people aware about the vulnerability points, that from where you can get affected, and what are the psychologies behind that, that these are the psychologies where from, by utilizing those psychologies, the fraudsters can make you vulnerable. So these are the two aspects which we are dealing with. So over to Shogoto for some enlightening this on this. By this time, any question over here? I think there is no question because
I
mostly
think
all
there's
the
no more
questions have been
questions.
answered.
Yes,
No more
absolutely.
questions.
That's what my point was.
So
I
just
think
with
almost
the
all the points were discussed. So if
all
you
the
have
points
anything
have
from
been
your end,
discussed.
Shogato.
Yes.
Nothing there to add on. Actually, as I said, that there are some general people. I mean, they are not targeting any special people. They are targeting in general. And sometimes, as I said, that people are people who are aware of our need gaps. They are kind of alluring us, and we are falling trap. We are falling into the trap. That is the problem that I was when I was talking about the behavior modification. I said that, do I really need that before taking any decision? And another thing is very important, that we have to have our goals clear. We have to have clear goals and purpose in our lives. So if we have found our passion, if we have found our goal, and if we try to align each and every of our action and our behavior align to that purpose and that goal, we will be goal oriented. We'll not be looking around for other rewards that are not important. That is the most important thing, that we have to be passionate about our goal and need to find our purpose, our goal, and we will take only that actions that will contribute to that goal only.
Here comes another point, that is, Shogoto has said that there should be a goal oriented thing, but what happens with the kids, that they are not focused with their goals, rather they are very much confused. So
Actually, their
sometimes
parents are
what
not
happens,
focused.
yes, absolutely. I am just coming to this point, that whenever the kids are not focused, and here comes the 5 points, the five, I mean, the guidelines which have been told by Payel Ghosh.
Piled. Hmm.
Yes, Payaldi, what has been told by Payaldi, that those 5 constitutional points, these are the constitutions how parents should guide a kid. So this way we should guide each other. I mean, and most important thing I should mention here, that 85 to 90% of the world's cyber crime cases are happening due to the user flaw, not because of the system flaw. So the user should be very much cautious, and it is evident from the title of today's webinar that this is a national webinar on cybersecurity sensitization. So
Hmm.
we are concentrating on the sensitization part. And that is why Cyberguru is here, and that is why the other organizations are here. Everybody is working on that, that how to make people sensitized. Suppose
That's why
I am aware,
I
yes,
that's why I said you that we covered all these incidents, the crime, that
right,
whether it was avoidable or not, what are the
right, right, right,
mistakes the victims did, whether it was avoidable or not. That we always focus on that issue, always,
absolutely.
especially on the cyber crime related issues. We always focus on that.
Hmm. So it should be a congregation, it should be a congregated effort with the law enforcement agency, with the organizations who are dealing with the sensitization issues, who are dealing with this, I mean, the trainings, who are dealing with this consultations, the law enforcement agency, the press, the law making authorities who are making those laws. So everybody should work together. And in my opinion, if we want to control this cyber crime in our society, we have to make one thing very clear, that we have to make a globally accredited cyber law. That means it should be it should be, I mean, enforced throughout the globe, and there should be a global cyber police. I mean, an enforcement authority who will be acting throughout the globe, who can enforce those laws. So that is a very important aspect I would like to address in this forum, in this national forum. And I will urge the government of India and the other governments also, so that if we want to fight against cybercrime, we don't have to discuss these issues. We have to work on that. And when we have to work on that, we have to work on these issues, that we need a global cyber law, which is to be followed by each, every, and all nations. Because by this way, what is happening, that we are having different laws in different countries, but we are trying to deal with something which has got a single entity. So with a different entity thing, we are trying to handle a single entity. So the ways we have to handle it should be in a different way. We should have a different insight over that, and that is the thing we should address in these sessions. I'd like to invite Dr. Amitavo Das to enlighten anything on this,
Thank you.
just as a closing session, because
Sure.
we are just running out of time, and if we just go on discussing, we will really just go on discussing. So there is
Yeah.
a time frame, we have to end it there.
So give me a minute.
So
Okay.
yeah,
So I'll
sure.
close with this small story. So when Canada was so Professor Niels Bohr was working on this atom bomb project, and when he understood that there are a lot of problems in this project, if it became true, it would be a disaster to the humanity. So he tried to reach out all possible ways to US government. He could not. Then he reached out to Churchill. He went to his office and he tried to make him understand what is the possible vulnerability this atom bomb can do to the humanity. He listened to him half an hour, and then after half an hour, he looked at his secretary and said, "What does this man is talking about? Physics or politics? See, Professor Bohr, what you are talking, it's nothing new. This bomb is going to be bigger than the previous bomb, but the principle of war remains same." So I would like to take from there. So when technological disruption happen, we jump in technology. The principle of war is not same. So sensitizing people is possibly, pardon me, is the low hanging fruit we can do. But what about when Facebook is learning our personality? It's not stealing our data. It's learning our personality, influencing us to give a different vote. So we need law, we need technology, and all together we have to work towards making a law where AI could be used, could not be used.
Right.
So that's it.
So really a very enlightening story, and thoughtful teaching from that. So over to Debonila for the concluding note of this webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. So let us conclude this. Over to Debonila.
I think we've almost done everything that could have been possibly under the sun. So we've covered almost all the topics and everything that's regarding to the awareness, to sensitization, to common people regarding the cybercrime and everything. So I would end this session with a complete note that our vision is to minimize and even eradicate the all types of crimes that are happening in the society, and that could only be possible with proper knowledge of internet and its vast useness, and a proper awareness for common people about the usage of internet. Thank you so much, all of you, for this wonderful
Thank you.
session, and thank you, audience, for being with us throughout this 2.5 hour show. Thank you so much. Good night and
Thank you,
goodbye.
everybody. Thank you.
Good evening. I, Dr. R.T. Goswami, Director, Techno India Group, and very much happy to know that Cyberguru, in association with Quarantine TV and eslive, organizing national webinar on cyber security sensitization. This is a very good topic in today's context and has immense importance. I wish the program a grand success. Thank you.
I am Dr. Amit Choudhury. As Group Head of ICT and Services in CDAC Kolkata, I had organized several programs and I had led several projects on cybersecurity and cyber forensics for more than 10 years. While implementing these projects, while organizing such programs, I had always felt that professional teams should come up to take up the challenges of cybersecurity training and awareness. I'm very happy to see Cyberguru has come up to take up this challenge, and they are organizing programs for training and sensitization on cybersecurity. I wish them all the success and wish the webinar and the programs become really useful for the participants. Thank you very much.